Alright, so yeah, hello people. It's been like I think at least a few hours since my last video. I figured since I showed you those commands last time, I thought I should mention a few commands in terms of networking. Now, let me say this. I'm far from the guy that you should be going for advice in terms of networking. I know utilities you can use, so that's what I'll be going over today. However, when it comes to calculating IPs and stuff, I'm really bad at that. So anything related to networking, I'm bad at it, but I know the concepts, so I should be able to teach you at least something. Bear in mind that this is for Linux. Some tools that I'll be using today are also on Windows in the command line. So some of them you already know, some of them you may not know. I picked the most used ones and some that I know personally. So I'll be trying to go and explain every single one of them. Again, if you don't understand and want to read it up on your own, go check out the man pages. Everything is in there. I want to preface it with this though. You're going to have to install NetTools first, because without this we won't be able to use any of the stuff, and it's a really small package. It's like installed like right now. It's installed almost. It's installed right now. Pretty small package. This gives us all the tools that we need. So one fairly known command is the ping command. So if I use ping on, I don't know, google.com for example, or actually no, let's use my website. Don't want to get banned by Google. So if we use my website, you can see it pings, and it's going to keep on pinging until you stop it. So what do? Well, normally pinging on Windows does one thing. It does it 3 times and then stops. To achieve the same thing, we have to give it -C3. It will do it 3 times and then stop. That's basically it. As you can see, it's fully working. So yeah, so that's the ping command. Again, just read up. Everything is inside the man pages themselves. So just keep that in mind. Alright, the next thing is netstart. So netstart is basically a command that you can use for printing all sorts of information. For example, you can print routing tables, the connections, the statistics, and multicast memberships. For example, you can use netstat. It will print out this lovely thing. Again, I'm going to output this into a text file. Netstat.txt, and let's open it up in Vim. So have a look. So netstat itself is a really useful command. There's a bunch of things that are in there. Basically, the first part, which you can tell, is the active internet connections. So that's the protocol, reference count, flags, the type, the state, the inode which uses it, and the path to the inode itself. Bear in mind, this file will vary a lot depending on your system, but since this is a relatively clean system, it won't have as much things in it. Alright, so that's that explained. So that's that start. Yeah, okay. Well, the next one. The next one is TCP dump. What TCP dump does, it basically dumps the traffic of a network. In our case, you can do TCP dump, just like that. You don't have permissions to capture the device, operation not permitted. You have to run this as sudo, as a administrator, to get all the information. And I want the full protocol, so we're going to do -v. Most likely it's not going to show anything because there is nothing that's being received or done. However, a way you can trick this is if we do something with our computer. For example, we're going to refresh this. Is it doing anything? It's not doing anything. Yeah, this is basically supposed to... It's not working, so let's just put up the main page of TCP dump itself again. Basically it dumps the traffic on the network, so whenever something goes around the network it will dump it. So you have to make sure you use it as something that can interface between your networks, which in my case wasn't my computer, so it was kind of pointless of showing you this. So that's TCP dump. Next one, host. And let's do it again on my website, just why not. If we do that, it will give us the list of host IP addresses on which my website is hosted. Please don't go and hack it, please. Don't do it. Yeah, so that's that. Again, you can just use the main pages and read up. It's a Nslookup, so that's that. Okay, trace path. Trace path is basically it lists you the paths of the host discovering protocols and stuff. So like, if I run trace path, it asks for any port or destination. So let's do this. Wow. What this is, it tells you what it's doing. So it's going through the gateway and it does nothing else. Because it's going to take like forever to do things. Okay, so one thing we can do is we can open up CMD on our Windows PC right here and do IP config. So give us the IP address 192.168.41.1. Uh, 41.1. 241 and 1, and that's it. It like did a bunch of hoops, one hoop, one back. So yeah, that's how it works basically. Oh no, I can close this. So what's next? Okay, another one that's actually one that's been fairly, no, it's still recording this, we are good. One that is actually fairly useful is the fconfig command, similar to the ipconfig command on Windows. If you run this, it will give you information about your ports that are active, what IP addresses they have, and stuff of that nature. The IP addresses, the bytes, the what was it? The network mask, the broadcast IP, and a bunch of other stuff. Just something you might be interested in. There are two commands related to this: if up and if down. If down is, as the name suggests, if down disables an interface, whereas if up enables it. So yeah, again you can look this up with what was it? So it was ifconfig, right? So you can just like read up, like it basically it's all about reading up and learning from the manual pages themselves. Just read it all up. I'm not going to explain really everything. I'm just letting you know what tools those are, so that you can go and study how they work. One fairly useful command though might be wrapped. I have to look up what it actually does. Show multiple / manipulate the IP routing table. Okay, so as it says, it shows you the IP routing table. As you can see, this is my IP routing table. You can do whatever you want with this. Since it's a virtual machine, you shouldn't even bother be doing anything with this. Nslookup is, oh yeah, it's expecting an address, so let's get at that. What Nslookup does, it gives you, hold on, it gives you information about the name and the address. So basically it tells you what server that is, what the address is, and then the basically the name that you typed in and what the address is. Which, if you remember one of our commands previously, if we typed in host, which I can actually show you, where was it? As you can see, it's pretty much the same output as host, but it's a bit more readable. If the second one is more readable for you, I don't know. It's up to you, you do, but I'm just saying that there are two commands which do basically the same thing. I prefer host because it gives me all the information I need. And Nslookup is a useful utility if you know what you're doing with it. One other fun thing is Whois, and that does pretty much what it says. Gives you information about who it is. So if you type in Whois, which you have to install by sudo install Whois. It's a small networking utility, doesn't take that much space at all. Once you install Whois, you should be able to use that. I didn't think it was a separate package, but this gives you everything you need to know. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't let you do it on my website, so let's try Google.com. Okay, so Google.com has a more interesting output, so let's print it out. Whois Google.txt, and let's do them. It's Google.txt. So what it does, it prints out the domain name, registry, domain ID, and all the other things. Like, you can pretty much print this out yourself and read it. I'm not gonna go through everything and explain what everything is. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm far from qualified, but this is what I figured might be useful for someone who wants to work with this. So, and that's pretty much everything for the tools. There's not much else to it. Those are relatively simple tools that you can use to get some output about networking. Again, I'm trying to think of other things I could show you or teach you. I'm trying to go through many useful things as I can. Again, as much in the terminal as I can do, I will do. Because, you know, it's light on resources, so why not utilize this to its full potential? Since we're on the topic of networking, however, I think there's one more thing I could show you. So, in today's day and age, you cannot use the internet without a web browser, especially without a graphical user interface. Well, there are two programs, Links, spelled like that, L-I-N-K-N-S, or Links, L-I-N-N-X. I'm going to use Links, which I just installed, and I'm gonna articulate it again. But basically what Links does is you give it the address you want to go to. You have to be obviously connected to the internet, I don't need to tell you that. And it will visit the website. And as you can see, this indeed is my website. So as you can see, it has all these things. So if you click links, it actually sends you up. Open source sends you to the next link and lets you cycle through these. Here are my page. This is actually the Linux man pages, and you can like read through this. So you can actually like also you can go back by pressing backspace. That's my other thing. You can also go to the welcome section, which will load you onto the welcome section. So I can actually visit my website from here. So it's actually good to know that it loads like as quick as it does normally. which is really cool. Can I visit my repository from here though? No way. Okay, this is actually where it starts to break, which is kind of funny. So you can see image, repository, matches, forks, and all this other stuff. I would recommend you do this. I picked my website because I know it's far easier to follow than it would be otherwise. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, you can actually press Ctrl C to exit. But yeah, that's links. So yeah, thought it might be cool for some of you guys. So that's it. That was some hopefully useful networking commands that you can use. You can also I'm looking at this from the perspective of a completely new user, just to be clear with this, because I'm not doing network administration. If you're doing that, you should find the tools that you need for that. I'm looking from it of a perspective of a noob, so that's what you should remember about this series. Again, just let me know what other things you would like me to show you, and I'll gladly do it if I find the time for that is. So if you enjoyed it, just if you found it interesting, just share it around. You do you. I'm not gonna force anyone. I do it from the passion of my heart. I want to get as many people to love Linux as I do. So figured this series might be the most useful in terms of teaching Linux about what it can do, and you can really waste a ton of hours in Linux because it's something you can tinker with, read man pages about and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have a Linux machine that can be run on literally anything. Also, one really cool thing, if you have a Raspberry Pi, you can do this just fine. It also runs Linux, like why not? Just go for it. It's your thing, you do you, I'm not gonna force anyone. If you know some cool utilities or things you want me to talk about, just let me know. You can get in contact with me, get in touch with me. I'm pretty much accessible everywhere, so yeah. If you can, just get in touch, and that'll be great. So, I guess I hope to see you guys next time then. Bye!